Hi, everyone. We're just going to see if anybody sees this. This is really spontaneous. I haven't been on forever, so if nobody shows up, that's perfectly okay. But I just wanted to share with you what's been going on. I know many of you have seen the video where I talk about the healing that God's been doing in my life. And that was done, I don't know, Mayish, June-ish. But I just wanted to give you an update on what's been happening. Lots of things. Now, when I'm back in school again, I'm in my third year of ministry school. This year, I am, it's not the same as an internship, but if I use that word, please excuse me, it's not the proper word. I'm not being run to the ground as an intern that a lot of interns are run to the ground for, but I am uh, helping out the media department of Bethel Media in the audience engagement area. I know that sounds like a fancy title, but it's basically doing what I've always been doing, getting people engaged over the screen. People reaching out over the screen, knowing that God is more than able to heal people. I mean, look at me. My healing journey began with me just simply standing when some guy in a Zoom call said, if you want to stand because you are contending for a breakthrough in your life or somebody else, stand up. And I did for somebody else. And God said, Kath Walden, this is your turn, kind of thing. And I wasn't in the same room. I wasn't even in the same country. But getting to the rest of the story, one thing you can probably notice, by the way, I see one person watching. That's great. I'm surprised even one person showed up. If you want to chat, just feel to use the chat area. But just to let you have the heads up, if you notice one thing, my speech, have you noticed so far? Not a stammer. Yeah, the healing continues, guys. Over the last 5 months, or yeah, it's about 4 or 5 months, the radical change that I'm seeing in my life still boggles me. It's beyond understanding for me that God's doing all of this. I'm doing this live, not necessarily so a lot of people come in to talk with me, but so you can hear me without any editing done. I am gearing to take part in a virtual walk as a fundraiser for research funds for the neurological condition that I was born with, Charcot-Marie tooth disease. They reached out to me. They reached out to a bunch of other people too. They just didn't go, oh, let's pick her. But I really felt something inside of me. I need to do something about this. So I'm taking part with this. Now, guys, get this. I've been doing about 11 miles a day on my exercise bike, split in between 2 times. And I felt, hey, why don't we see if we can amp this a little bit and receive donations. That's not why I'm doing this video. I just want to give you a heads up what's going on. So people can send money to the Charcot-Marie tooth research directly. They don't send any money to me. There's a link I'll put in the comments. You can, if you want to, you can do it that way. But I decided to challenge myself. I'm not going to walk it because in October, when this walk is in Canada, you never know what you're going to get. So I decided to do my exercise. You want to see sweat on people's faces when they're doing it. Let them suffer for the cause. So I decided to amp up my miles on my exercise bike from 11 to 15. That doesn't sound like a lot, but in my mind, it was huge. So I decided one day I would just try and see how I did with that, whether it was a realistic goal or whatever. Guys, I sailed past it. I broke it into 2 sections, but I was able to do 15 miles easily. I probably could have done a mile or two more. And so what I've done now, I've changed my goal to go as far as I possibly can. And I'll take a 20-minute break in between uh, the long run at the first and the end run, whatever that ends up to be. If somebody sees me passed out on the ground, they'll know, oh, well, that's the walkathon, or in my case, the bikeathon is over for Kath. But that's what's up, guys. What else is there? There are still things that I don't understand. I don't have the answers for when it comes to the healing. For example, I haven't seen any noticeable healing in my hands. I still am finding it very difficult to do things like think of arthritis without the pain. So that's basically what I am seeing. Okay, hold on here. Yeah. So sorry about that. This is live. You can tell now, catch it, because I'm not going to edit that out. But yeah, so my hands, I'm not seeing a lot of change in them, yet I am still able to stand with no pain. Yesterday, I like doing batch cooking. I was doing a whole bunch around my apartment, and I was able to get all of that done. I was trying to get as much done as possible and in my freezer before the next heat wave hit. We had a very nice temperate summer until the last couple of weeks, and all of a sudden the temperatures have skyrocketed. I don't have air conditioning in my apartment, and there's no cross ventilation. So I was doing what I need to do now. Yesterday, so I was around my kitchen, chopping, stirring, all that kind of stuff for 2 or 3 hours. I was fine. My back hurt, but doesn't a lot of people's back hurt when they're walking around the kitchen for long hours of a time? But no leg pain, no stumbling, no feeling my balance was off kilter. I've got more energy. Because it's, again, I can't wrap my mind around what God has done. I just simply can't wrap my mind around it. I can't give you any answers. As far as what I'm going to be doing this year, as I said, I am going to be volunteering, I guess you could put it, in an organization's audience engagement, people who watch their live stream church events, people who take e-courses, people who sign up for conferences, to get people past just looking at their screen, but actually engaging and discovering ways that they can put the stuff that they are watching into practical use in their everyday lives. And that's the best way I can say it. I do have some classes on top of that. I also have, what else is there? I'll have some major assignments that I need to do, plus everything else that I am doing. But here's one more thing. If you watch this far, way to go, guys. I've been rambling off to myself for 8 minutes. So if you're still here, you are a good friend of mine. Just saying that. But here, what I'm thinking of doing is doing a short live on YouTube. I'm not going to say every single day. And for those of you who are part of Totally Kathy's morning devotionals, it's not going to be the same thing, but I'm going to try to keep it under 4 minutes at most. It'll be live, so I don't have to do any editing. And I'll be either talking about a quote from the Daily Christian Quote. If you're on Facebook, many of you are already part of my group called the Daily Christian Quote. How simple is that? You can see it. There's a typewriter. It's not wise one. I don't think I could come up with 365 days of wise quotes from Kath very easily, but from all sorts of people. So what I might do is just pop in now and again. Try to make it a few times every week, just so I can keep in contact with you guys. Because I know many of you guys aren't on YouTube and other social platforms. I totally understand that. I personally feel called as a missionary, I guess you could put it, to be a light on social media, but I don't look at social media as endless entertainment of scrolling down the page. And the weirdness of Facebook just gets weirder and weirder. So I've got more people on snooze on Facebook than I do not not snoozed. If you don't know what snooze is, you can put anybody in a timeout for 30 days. You're still their Facebook friends, but you don't see their comments or their posts on your main page on Facebook. You have to go to their timeline to see if they're still as crazy as they were before you put them in the timeout. Anyhow, um, anybody here who wants to say something, just feel free to put something in chat. If you don't, that's perfectly all right. My point in doing this was for you to see and to hear without any editing what God has done in my speech. It's hard for me to walk around to show you because I don't have, well, I do have a pretty good phone now. I switched to an iPhone. But anyhow, it's still hard for me to show you the other ramifications of the healing that is continuing. But you guys, my speech, I am still speechless. And with that, I'm going to end.